Welcome to Broadneck High School Baseball and our series, The Bruin Way. This video is part 2 of our 2-part series on catching fundamentals. In this chapter, we discuss the technique when throwing to second base for a stealing runner. We want our catchers to work on these priorities: accuracy, quick release, and a strong throw, in that order. Accuracy is achieved through consistency and balance in the body position. A quick release is achieved by keeping the body movements compact. We achieve this compact consistency with a short first step with the right or throwing hand foot. The step should be slightly forward, moving toward the plate, landing in the center square of the hashtag shown in the dirt here. The toes are pointed toward the first base dugout, and as shown in this shot, allow the body to close the shoulders as the catcher prepares to throw. The catcher has pushed the ball back toward his right ear, using his glove to push in a quick straight line from where the ball was caught, and gotten his body into the compact throwing position we refer to as being in a star stance, as shown here. Drills for catchers throwing to bases can be broken down into segments. First, we do a drill throwing from the knees to emphasize a short motion from receiving to throwing, as well as a quick release. Next, we work on throws after the first step has been made, emphasizing getting the shoulder closed to the target, and again the short arm action for the throw, and a follow through and finish toward the target. It is also important to train our catchers in what to do when the batter interferes with their throw. It's important for the catcher to draw attention to the batter's interference to make it easy on the umpire to make the proper call. Catchers and pitchers need to work on proper technique for pitch outs. This is a great concept to put into every bullpen to throw at least one pitch out. We also need to work with catchers on the proper footwork to receive the pitch out, with both right-handed and left-handed batters. In both cases, we want the pitch out thrown so that it splits the opposite batter's box in half. The first pitch out we'll talk through is the one with a right-handed batter. For this, the catcher steps at a 45-degree angle toward the left-handed batter's box with a short jab step. The catch is made as the catcher is closing his shoulders to the target, and then the short, compact, quick release throw is made. For the pitch out with a left-handed batter, there is an extra step taken. The catcher makes the same 45-degree jab step, this time with his left foot, and then moves his right foot, then his left foot around the ball to receive the pitch out with shoulders closed, ready to throw. Our next chapter covers receiving throws at the plate for a tag play. Catchers should position themselves in the front of the left-handed batter's box, just slightly up the line toward third base. The left toes should be pointing toward third base as a way of avoiding knee injuries from any side impacts. The catcher should clamp the glove closed with his throwing hand, as shown here, drop to put the tag on the ground while turning his right leg out to block the runner's path to the inside of the plate. The closed side of the glove looks at third base to protect the throwing hand and to protect the ball from getting kicked out of the glove by a sliding runner. We can challenge our catchers in drills by having them first field a bunt and then retreat to home to work on catches and tag plays at the plate. It is a good idea to have live runners involved so that the catcher gets used to focusing on catching or blocking while a runner is coming at them. This should be briefed and discussed with the runners and catchers ahead of time to ensure a safe drill. As we approach the end of our video, we'll point out a list of little things that catchers do to help their team. First, on ground balls to the right side of the infield, catchers yell out, "Get over there!" to remind the pitcher to run over to cover first base in case the first baseman fields the ball and needs to throw to the pitcher covering first base. When there are no runners on base, the catcher runs to back up all throws to first. Next, we show the catcher using proper technique on a pop-up behind the plate. First, the catcher removes his helmet and mask and sprints to move under the ball. With the ball at its peak and the catcher settled underneath, he throws his helmet and mask far enough away so that as he moves his feet to catch the ball, he won't step on his helmet and mask. You'll also note that after the catch is made, the catcher turns, ready to throw out any runners who might have tagged up. We remind each other of this fundamental by yelling, "Next play," after each catch or putout. Another set of little things relates to the catcher's relationship with the umpire. First, we see our catcher sprinting out of the dugout at the start of a game. He hustles to the plate and removes his mask before introducing himself to the umpire. Eye contact and a firm handshake complete this process of making a good first impression on the other guy who will be behind the plate with our catcher. Another example of maintaining a good relationship with the umpire is the response when the umpire gets hit by a ball. The catcher should retrieve the ball, call for time, and go visit the pitcher on the mound. This gives the umpire a bit of time to shake off any pain from getting hit without the impression that the game is waiting on him. Umpires are kind and will return this favor when a catcher gets hit. Our last little thing are the large number of items we ask the catcher to keep track of and monitor. We want our catchers to be vigilant in scanning the field, checking their defense to make sure they're aligned properly and ready, looking at runners on base to determine if they're getting ready to steal or have too large a secondary lead, looking to the bench to see if the coach needs to give them a sign, looking at the batter's position in the box and their stance to see if it gives any hints on what the batter is going to do next and how we might pitch to that batter, and if the catcher is too close or too far from the batter. Finally, we want the catcher to track the pitcher to see what he needs. Speaking of what the pitcher might need, we'll end our video talking about the leadership aspect of being a great catcher. We see our catcher demonstrating positive body language for his pitcher. Being a pitcher is a challenging position. The spotlight is on you for every throw. The catcher should try and stay connected to the pitcher and keep the pitcher relaxed, focused, motivated, and calm. Catchers can work on their body language and communication with pitchers every time they play catch, in bullpens, and certainly in any live game situations. This concludes our two-part series on catching fundamentals. Best of luck to each of you this spring. We hope you'll enjoy working on your skills as a catcher. A special thanks to our actors for their energy and effort in helping make this video possible. And thanks to each of you for your continued interest in doing things the Bruin way.